Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Shah, Barakadam, all the brothers out there on the highways and byways, to others up in New York, pushing the truth diligently all through the Spirit. This quick video is just going to bring out some information on how America is run, basically. If you look on my video playlist, you'll see that back then in the Roman Empire, they had martial law break out, okay? And guess what? That's going to happen again very soon here in America. It's already in effect. It just hasn't happened on a large scale like you saw in the video with the military on the streets, alright? But now I have some more information, okay, that I found in this book, alright, on how what they're doing back in Rome back then, they're doing right now today. This is Rome, and Rome is going to be destroyed again. America is going to be destroyed again by the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Alright, so this is the Zondervan Handbook History of Christianity by Jonathan Hill. Alright, I'm going to be reading out of this. And I'm going to get the camera on what I'm reading just so y'all can see it and don't just think I'm just reading nothing, alright? I'm just making it up or something. Alright, so this is on page 44. It says, the Romans brought unprecedentedly high living standards to their subject peoples. And that's exactly what's been going on here in America. You got a lot of foreclosed homes because they're raising the price of living. People can't pay their mortgages. For instance, here in D.C., back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it's known as the Chocolate City. You know, up until a little while ago, they brought in all this money and they pushed out all the blacks and the people, you know, that lived there originally with these high living standards, and now you got them moving out into Maryland, moving out into Virginia, and this is happening all over here in America. Why? Because America is the last leg of the Roman Empire. All right, Rome is still ruling. All you gotta do is drive through your cities and see the Roman pillars on your Capitol buildings. All right, on these federal buildings, you got the Roman pillars and you know, the eagles and all that stuff. So continue it down. That's one point. All right. Now it says Romanization. Now the thing with these books, brothers, is that you got to chew the meat and spit out the bones. A lot of the stuff is real tough. If you're not spiritually grounded in the scriptures, it's going to be hard, you know, to dig through some of this stuff. All right, so that's why you see highlights in certain places. This is talking about on the topic of Romanization. All right, it says Romanization, which meant everyone basically became Roman. You could not be from virtually any ethnic it says you could be from virtually any ethnic background and still be Roman. And you continue down the page. It says these cosmopolitan cities acted as cultural melting pots. Boom. What is America known as? The melting pot. All right. And in the scriptures it says, "He heapeth unto him all nations." In Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Okay. This is known as the cultural melting pot. This is where, you know, a little while ago, all the countries on earth, people wanted to come here and get rich off America. All right, well, guess what? Rome is going down the fucking drain. All right, America is going to be destroyed, and this melting pot is about to tip over. All right, and it says these cosmopolitan cities acted as cultural melting pots. Although the people of the countryside were often much more culturally conservative and preserved beliefs and traditions from pre-imperial times for far longer. So you had some elites that didn't want to, you know, mix with the middle class and the lower class. All right, they still kept to their beliefs. And the elites that are ruling Rome right now, America, all right, their beliefs is in Satan. All right, is in the devil. All right, and that's why another reason why Rome is going to be destroyed. And right here, reading down, it says the Roman culture was spread in this way, was basically Hellenistic culture in a new form. Hellenism, Greek culture, all right, continue on page 45, it says, has spread throughout the Eastern Mediterranean with the Hellenistic dynasties established in the 4th century BC after the conquest of Alexander the Great. When the Romans overthrew the Hellenistic dynasties in the 2nd century BC and later, they took over the Greek culture and continue to endorse it. Because Rome, what they do, they like to take on the beliefs of every single culture. All right, that's why here in America, you can believe in it wherever the hell you want to. You can believe in Satan if you want here in America. And guess what? That's why America has to be destroyed, all right? Because it takes on all these cultures, it takes on all their gods and their beliefs, and they promote it. You know, they endorse it. They spread their wine of fornication all over the place. All right, so now it said that Rome, basically, the Romans took over the Greeks, okay, and they took on the Greeks, and that's in the Bible. How they want everybody to be one people. That's why they're going around policing all these other countries, making them, trying to make them democratic states, so to say, all right, and spread their democracy. Well, this is in the scriptures, okay, because they've been doing this ever since Alexander. This is in the book of Maccabees, okay, in the 1611 Bible, okay, and first book of Maccabees 1:7. It says, so Alexander, talking about Alexander the Greek. It says Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And it says after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. All right, and ever since that time, ever since we got taken down in 1493 AD, it's been nothing but evil by the Roman Empire. Okay, this is First Maccabees 1:41. It says, let me get it up here on camera. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his kingdom that all should be one people. There's that Romanization again, because it said they took the Greek culture and they endorsed it, but the Greeks, they got a lot of their beliefs from the Romans too. Alright, so it says that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And that's exactly what America's doing. They're going around to all these other countries telling them to leave their laws and be democratic states. That's why Iranians don't want nothing to do with this place. They want to destroy this place, and they're going to all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because they're going around trying to heap up all nations under them and basically say that they're the ruling nation. All right, they're the superpower, and everyone needs to abide by their rules. Why? Because America is the Roman Empire, the last leg of the Roman Empire. Okay, I'm going back in this book. It says on page 45, continuing down, it says, let me back up here, Salakia. It says the Romans believed in many gods, each of whom had his or her own personality and characteristics and represented particular aspects of life. Venus, for example, was the goddess of love. Honoring and respecting these gods was important, partly because they were believed to have influence over human affairs, and partly because they were the gods of the empire and thus had patriotic value. You see, and that's another reason why America has to be destroyed. Like I said, you could worship anything in this place. Hey, the Muslims, they have 99 names for God. Okay, meaning they have 99 gods. All right. Continue down. It says worshiping the Roman gods was a part of what is to be a Roman. That's why they say when in Rome, do as the Romans. Well, when people come to America, they do as the Americans, which is total wickedness. All right. It says cities would hold regular festivals, okay, and involve honoring the locally favored gods. Most public entertainments, such as sporting events or plays, begin with an acknowledgement of the gods. You got the national anthem. All right, that's what they do. It's acknowledging their gods and the wickedness that America has done. It says, rather like the national anthem being played at certain sporting events, the gods were consulted through divination, and people might visit an oracle for this purpose. All right, so that's more further proof that America is Rome. Okay, because you got the Texas Longhorns. When they sing that national anthem, that Longhorn goes back to Baphomet. Okay, it goes back to that bull god that the Israel, not Molech. When we came out of Egypt, there was a golden calf that they worship. That's basically what they do down there at that school in Texas. All right, and before a lot of these sporting events, that's what they're doing. They're singing their national anthem and pledging their allegiance, basically, and wishing luck for their game through their divinations, all right? Because why? This is the Roman Empire all over again, all right? What happened back then in Rome is going to happen now, all right? So with that, well, before I end, I gotta say death and destruction to America, which is Rome, all through the Spirit, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, all right? Shalom.